eyebrows done, because luckily I have bangs.
So like,
I need to go get
two caterpillars under there just, oh, hey, what's up, guys? Ooh.
They're not that bad, but they're not that great. They're like, see, guys, they just need a little bit of, yeah. They're kind of like...
Every guy watching this is like, okay, well, I think still she's pretty, okay. Honestly, I'm perplexed. Like, I've always heard about men acting like that.
The women understand.
That's not a good thing for, like, in my head, I'm like, is this a real thing? Like, this is actually happening to people. And I'm like, it just blew my mind. I don't understand.
Ask Victoria. She probably knows all about it.
Oh, no. Victoria would destroy somebody if they were like, hey, what's up, hottie? She'd be like, my husband will eat you, literally and figuratively. He will make you a barbecue and then cook your ass. So,
well, my Dino will eat you and barbecue you, literally.
I'm so like, and that's the thing is, I'm confident if Victoria has ever gotten those kind of messages that she would never tell me, because I'd be like, what's his name and home number? So let me call. Give me the phone. I'll deal with it. Come. Let me talk. What's his profile? Come here. I would just get in the car and just go to his house. I'm like, hey, so you're interested in my wife? Let's talk. And just always go, oh, well, I was just talking online. And now I'm talking in person. What's up? Let's talk. And the whole time I would just be sharpening a knife. Be like, yeah, what's up? Just let's talk.
Oh, I've had situations kind of like that, but not really. Like, I've had situations like that where one ex will talk to another ex or talk to a recent boyfriend while cleaning a gun.
Like, I'm honestly, like, I'm so perturbed. I am perturbed.
They have beers, but
I am perturbed by this entire happening. Like, it's just freaking me right out.
Oh,
like, I just don't understand it. Like, I don't, like, at what point in a man's life does he say, you know what chicks want to hear? They're going to tell him that they're cute as fuck. You're like, and you know what? She should know that I'm a lot older than her, and that definitely gets her hot. You're like, what is happening? It does work
sometimes if you're having a bad day. And you're like...
You're so goddamn
you're like,
positive.
aw, he thinks I'm cute.
You're so goddamn
but I never
positive.
look at your profile.
But it's just so... Like, you're so positive about it. You're like, well, it's a nice compliment. And that's a great, like, honestly, kudos to you, because it's a great way of taking it and a great way of dealing with it. You're like, you know what, I really don't bother. But I just accept it as a compliment, which I'm like, no, these people need violence. They need violence in their life. They need to be put in like, I just don't understand. Because people share these kind of messages to people, like, on Facebook and stuff, trying to out people as predators. And I'm like, okay, like, that's fine, but I'm just like, the problem is, like, people don't, like, people like to accuse people of certain behavior.
I take it.
I know, but it's like, but then they're hesitant to actually expose what behavior it was. They're like, well, this person abused me, and you're like, oh, okay, what happened? And they're like, well, they just abused me, and you're like, that doesn't actually say anything. And the worst part is, then you're cornered saying, well, you're not believing. I'm like, no, I believe you, but you just haven't told me anything. Yeah. Like, you haven't, if someone talks, oh, they were mean to me, that's not abuse, people, right? If they were gaslighting you and not letting you leave the house, yeah, okay, that's abuse, no question. But it's like, there's such a weird range, and then seeing it firsthand, where my name was tagged, I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? It's very weird. I feel bad for women. I really do. Because, like, honestly...
And another man was tagged, though. So they didn't even take that into consideration.
Not even... And you know what? And, like, look, my profile is public. You see pictures of me, I look humongous. Like, even in the pictures that I'm far away, you're like, that guy looks like a building. It's not, like... Oh, I don't know what to do with this information. It's very, very perplexing. Very perplexing, people.
He's even using his big words, people. Perplexing.
I know. I'm perturbed.
Which I'm going to assume means distraught.
No, perplexing would be more like I'm so confused by it.
Okay. Well, what
I'm
does
confused
distraught
by
mean?
the events that have happened.
Like you're out of sorts?
That, yeah, I'm distraught that it has now burdened my soul, right? I'm perplexed by the situation and distraught by the events that have come through. It's very, very difficult. It's traumatic. And the thing is, Crystal's response is like, yeah, that just happens. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's like the least of what I've been through. Like, that's like nothing. Like, are you kidding me? That's like a Sunday. That's like a Sunday. Like God's day. That's like every day.
That's some crazy shit, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you know what?
So
I'm, like, that's the kind of stuff I always, like, I know I think too much on weird things, right? Like, I go through the entire process and I'll reason out and I'm like, I know that, like, we want to have kids.
You should walk around with me for a day. You would be quite distraught. Like,
I'm going to jail. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to go to jail. If I start just walking behind you like I'm security, I feel like there would just be bodies and bodies and bodies just mounting up behind me. Like, I don't understand what it is that people are like, you know what? That makes sense. You know what girl wants to hear? She wants to hear that she's cute. And then send a picture of your penis that'll lock it down. Like, what kind of a fucking animal are you? I don't know.
I had like a stranger telling me the other day that he wants to fuck me on coke. I'm like, okay. Yeah, like that was his hello. I really want to fuck you on coke. I'm like, what? Thanks. I've been sober for a few years now, so. But thanks. Maybe if things get rough, we'll talk. Like, can we fall in love first, maybe? And then maybe we have a night of fun, whatever, shit happens. But like...
Oh my god, Crystal. I don't know what to do. This is very traumatic. Like,
yeah,
I honestly, I
end
never
of it.
realized how sheltered my existence is until events like that happening, where I'm like, wait, people actually act like this? Like, the real people. Like, it's actually like you see some people are just trolling, but like, when you actually respond, so this is my inner workings, is if you say something stupid and I burn you, you should be like, I'm an idiot, I'm out, right? That makes sense to me. And that's
Maybe
just a regular
didn't
troll.
feel burnt.
Well, and that's why I'm like, so the fact that they responded, well, I'm only 57. You're like, really? That you think that's what solves this whole thing? In 6 months' time, when you turn 58, it would be different. But right now, while you're 57, no problem. This completely makes sense. How is that a thing? That doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense at all.
Not at all.
And the other guy's like,
No.
yeah, you know what? I was once bitten, twice shy. You know what, baby? And you're like, no. You should live in a gutter by yourself.
What does it have to do with me?
And like just with the monster from It, like the clown guy.
And what does
That's
that have
you
to do
deserve.
with me?
That's disgusting.